Okay, today we are going to go through 2.3. All right, this is day 2, remember. We solved these last week, Friday. We did combining like terms and the distributive property as well. All right. So today we're going to do some things with fractions. Right? It says method 1 to solve this equation is to write the like terms using common denominators. So we need to look at this problem, right, and it says 3x over 4 minus x over 3 equals 10. All right, we need to combine these together. We're doing subtraction, so we need to get common denominators. So 4 and 3, right, we have a common fraction with 12. Right, to get from 4 to 12, we take it times 3. So 3x times 3 is 9x. All right, from 3 to 12, we take it times 4. So x times 4 is 4x, and then equals 10. Okay, so now we can combine our fractions by keeping our denominator the same, and we take 9x minus 4x. So 9x minus 4x, which gives us 5x. So we have 5x over 12 equals 10. Okay, and then now we have a fraction with our variable, so we learn that to get rid of a fraction, we can multiply each side by the reciprocal. So take each side times 12 over 5. 12's cross out, 5's cross out, so we're left with x equals 5 goes into 10 2 times, multiply straight across. 2 times 12, 24. All right. Now the exact same problem, we're going to do one other method. All right, this is clearing the fraction, so if you don't want to work with fractions, you don't have to. All right, so we want to eliminate the fractions, so we just have integers, easier to work with. So very similar to the other one, but we're going to write an equivalent equation. So we're going to look at all of the denominators this time, 4, 3, and 1, and find what number all three of them go into, right? And the first number they have again is 12. So we're going to put the entire equation in parentheses, and we are going to multiply by 12 over 1. So we are basically going to distribute this to every term. Okay, so the first term is 3x over 4, and we're going to take it times 12 over 1. Then the second term in the parentheses is a negative x over 3, and we're going to take that times 12 over 1. Right, distribute it in. And then we have an equal sign, and our last thing in the parentheses, remember it's the entire equation, is 10, and we have to also take that times 12 over 1. Right, so we multiply this times everything in the entire equation. Now the reason we want to do that is when we multiply each of these fractions, cross cancel, 4 goes into 12 3 times. Notice the bottom, no more fractions. We have the numbers 1 left. 3 goes into 12 4 times. Notice everywhere in this entire problem, the denominator is 1, so that means we eliminated our fractions. Now we just multiply. We have 3x times 3, 9x, minus x times 4, 4x, equals 10 times 12, 120. Combine our like terms. 9x minus 4x is 5x, equals 120. And again, we don't work with any fractions then. X equals, again, you can use your calculator to divide this. 120 divided by 5 should be 24. Okay, so two methods to solve this problem. All right, so again, here I have the exact same problem written down both times. All right, this side we're going to solve by common denominators, this side by clearing the fraction. And I don't care which method you use, all right? For the first problems on your assignment today, all right, when it asks you to do this one, I want you to try one problem with clearing the common denominators. I want you to try one problem clearing the fraction. Right? And then after that, pick whichever one you like the best. Now this one, Alright, so common denominators. 1/9 equals 5/6 minus m over 3. We have to move this 5/6 the other side. Alright, so we're just going to subtract 5/6 from each side. Alright, over here it crosses out, so over here we have 1/9 minus 5/6 equals m over 3. So we need to get common denominators between 9 and 6. So that would be 18. So 9 times 2 is 18, so we have to take 2 times 1 and get 2. 6 times 3 is 18, so we take the top times 3, we get 15, and it equals m over 3. Okay, now since we have common denominators, we can keep that denominator the same. 2 minus 15 is negative 13 equals m over 3. And we learned to get rid of a divide by 3, we can multiply both sides by 3. We can multiply both sides by 3. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Right? We know then our 3's cross out. This side we're left with m equals. We can cross cancel here. 3 goes into 18 6 times. So our answer is 1 times negative 13. Negative 13 over 1 times 6. 6. As long as it's simplified, I'm okay with you writing your answers today as improper fractions. Alright, same exact problem, clearing the fraction. So again, we're looking at all three bottom numbers now. Right? We want to multiply the entire equation by some number. It's going to get rid of these fractions. So 18 again is the first number that all three of them go into. So we're going to take everything times 18 over 1. So our first fraction, 1 over 9, we're going to take times 18 over 1 equals. Our second thing in parentheses is 5 over 6. We're going to take that times 18 over 1. And then finally, our last thing is minus m over 3. We're going to take that times 18 over 1. Again, by doing this, we cross cancel each fraction. 9 goes into 18 2 times. 6 goes into 18 3 times. 3 goes into 18 6 times. All the bottom numbers are 1. Right? Now we multiply. 1 times 2, 2, equals 5 times 3, 15, minus m times 6, 6m, and now we solve. Minus 15, what we do to one side we have to do to the other. Negative 13 equals, this crosses out, negative 6m, and divide by negative 6. 13 over 6. Okay, now I got to quick fix a mistake. I just noticed this. I wrote the equation wrong. Over here, it should be equals here. So I apologize for that. And then this one is a minus. So I had this mixed up. Okay, so it was 1/9 equals, right, so we subtracted, I just wrote it wrong. So this should have been negative. So we should have multiplied by a negative 3. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So we get the same answer. Alright, so I apologize for that. Alright, last problem. Alright, again, both ways, real quick, common denominators. These are like terms because they both have a variable, so we're going to write a fraction with 20. So 5 times 4, so we take the top times 4. 4 times 2b, 8b. 4 times 5, so top times 5 is 15b. Now we can combine them because we have like terms on the bottom. All right, we have a common denominator. 8b plus 15b is 23b equals 3. And again, remember, always to get rid of a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. So multiply each side by 20 over 23. We know the 20s will cross out, 23s will cross out, so we're left with b equals. This one we can't cross cancel anywhere, so 3 times 20, 60 over 1 times 23, 23. You can leave your answer like that today. Okay, clear the fraction. So this one we're going to not work with fractions at all, unlike this one. Right, so again, we want to look at all of the denominators. We're going to basically use the same number, take everything times 20. So we have 2b over 5 times 20 over 1. Right, then we have a 3b over 4. We're taking it times 20 over 1. Equals, last thing we have is 3. And we're taking it times 20 over 1, or just 20. Okay, again, everywhere we do this, our fractions cancel out. They cross out. So 2b times 4, 8b, plus 3b times 5, 15b equals 60. Again, this equation has no fractions, gets the exact same answer. All right, so combine our like terms, and notice, just like on the other side, we get the exact same answer. B equals 60 over 23. All right. Now, last problem is with the decimal. This doesn't change anything. We've learned how to do this. Just so real quick, a review. Our variable is x. We need to move this 3.5 to the other side. It's positive, so we are going to subtract it from each side. Again, I want to see all of your work. All right, you can use a calculator to get your answers. With this one, make sure you bring down the negative. Negative 0.02x equals, and when you use your calculator to subtract this, you should get negative 2.26. To undo a times, we need to divide each side by negative 0.02. Negative 0.02. X equals, make sure you plug this in your calculator. Right, with negative, so negative divided by negative is a positive, and it divides to 113. That's it. All right, good luck on your assignment. Your assignment is not too many problems. It's on these two pages, 97 to page 98, number 3, number 4, and then 30 through 44 even.